right, and there's
Yeah,
an underscore in there somewhere. So I'm pretty sure if you just put in our socials, you'll find it.
you're fine.
You'll find it if you find at Bobby Bronze at not Patrick Hughes, not to be confused with
You know what?
Patrick Hughes.
I'm gonna change my name on here.
Change it to not Pat Hughes.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and change my name.
There
I
you
want
go, Jimmy.
to, but yeah, man. How's your week been, bro?
Week is good. I just changed the ceiling fan, like I was talking about prior. Guys, another hack for you: if you buy cheap, you buy twice. Because my dad told me not to go cheap on a ceiling fan, and I did, and it ended up being a piece of shit ceiling fan. So don't buy the builder grade joints. If at least spend $100 if you can. But trust me, $100 that will last you a year is a lot better than $50 that you rent, which is basically what I did. So put up a ceiling fan. Those aren't very hard if everything's pre-wired. So that's adulting. Um,
Yes, sir.
what else? Oh, uh, big thing actually. I'm like purging shit. Like people can see in the background there's shoes and stuff. Like
Yeah.
I am getting rid of shit. So if you guys want to follow my eBay, that's where I'm putting the shit at. Right now I just listed a pair of Saint Laurent sneakers that are size 12
Oh
and a pair of
yeah.
off and a pair of off-white glasses that I just never ended up wearing. I tried to make them into regular glasses. They didn't really look that great, but I still have the sunglass lens in them. And the what prompted that was I went and got my eyes checked. So
Mm.
what I usually do the week of my birthday or the leading up to that, because my birthday is literally a week from what would have been yesterday. So in next Tuesday it'll be my birthday. And what I normally do is I try to get around that time. I try to get my eyes checked. And so I went to go get my eyes checked. I buy a new pair of glasses, but this time all I did was just change the lenses out of my old frames.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I need to get rid of those other glasses that I never wore. And then that was like, oh, you know what? There's Jordans and shit that I probably won't wear again, or I haven't worn in years. And there's new shit that I like buying. So it's like, man, it's probably at like if I just put them on cheap, $100 or something. It's probably at least $1,000 worth of shit that I just am not gonna use.
It's like I'm not doing it for the money. I'm clearing space for new shit.
Yeah, and then it'll ease the load of buying something new. Because if I can,
Hey,
like, if I could use this $100 and that goes towards like,
$100 off.
yeah, exactly. Or shit, like honestly, at this time, I got a little brother that has a birthday tomorrow. I got another little brother that's birthday is exactly 2 weeks from there, and then I
Oh
got another
yeah.
brother
Oh yeah.
that's birthday is exactly 2 weeks from that birthday,
Father's Day
and then
coming up
and then
too.
Father's Day for my dad and my stepdad. So usually this time leaves me pretty broke. So getting rid of this, if I could get a couple $100, that'll really I could take my dad to dinner, take my stepdad to dinner or something. My little brothers, they're all older now, so I just give them $50 gift cards to like Nike. But
Yeah.
two of them just bought cars, so I'll buy them gas cards, and so their first tank of gas would be on me. So
Nice.
that's a that's pretty much been my week, and then of course there's the Miami Heat. So hopefully they can pull it out tonight.
Yeah, man. Get y'all boys get up 2-1. You know what I'm saying? My week. My week has been hectic. Transitioning to a new job. Uh so that's been cool. I got the training out of the way now. Uh what happened Wednesday, Thursday? Oh yeah. I was in Kentucky. I was in Tennessee and Kentucky. One of my wife's family members passed away, so we went to a funeral in Kentucky. But you know what I'm saying? We went up there for like a sad occasion or whatever, but it actually turned out cool. You know, got under some influences with around the fam and everything. It's always a good time.
You get
Uh,
get around the baby.
no, we ain't bring her. We ain't bring
You
her. We
bring
ain't.
oh
No,
no,
no, no.
not for that. I understand. Getting in the car with the kid, it adds an hour at least.
You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yeah. We would have had to time it out like perfectly. And honestly, it probably could have worked going up there because we went around the time that she go to bed. But um, coming back, it would have been hell. And it was already coming back already took some time because traffic or whatever else. But just Nashville was 3 hours, and then Nashville to Louisville is another 3.5. So, what I'm saying, it wasn't too bad of a little road trip. I would say it was a nice getaway, but we went up there for a funeral. But other than that, I really ain't been doing nothing, man. Just trying to kick it. We came up on a hopefully it worked. I pray to God it worked. We came up on somebody was selling a Mac and a MacBook and a iMac for like 400. Now they older.
Yeah,
Now they older. Then the MacBook is like a 17. The iMac is like maybe a 14, 15. Um, so I'm assuming they needed bread. Um, and then pawn shop was offering them around that anyway. So they was just like, well, let me just take it to the streets. So that's supposed to get here sometime this week. And you know what I'm saying? I like gadgets. So saying
it's funny you
if it
mentioned that.
work out.
I almost asked you about WWDC. I think that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
They just put a Air out, a new Air. And by the way, the specs on the new Air, which is what I'm using, the specs on the new Air is literally like last models Pro, but cheaper. Like I think this one was like 900.
It's wild how that works, right?
Yeah. So it they just put out the 15-inch joint, pause if necessary, for the new MacBook Air, and I was like, man, that if I was going to ask you, I was like, you still look? Because I know at one point you were looking for a computer, and that one just looks like it's a. I like to line them up with the other computers. I'm like, oh, this thing's a
Right.
beast. It's got the M2 chip in it. Like it's it's good. That the new goggles are taking over. Like that's a big thing from that.
Are you gonna get them?
$3,500. I love everything Apple. Love everything Apple. But I was like, honestly, I remember John. Shout out to you, John, and happy belated. Um, John was like the first nigga that I knew that was like he wasn't as turned off by the price of the AirPod Maxes. Like
Yeah.
he's like, I mean, whatever. And I was like, I don't know if I can spend 550 on them. And like I ended up getting them as a gift. So because I wasn't gonna do it. But at the time when they were bought, they were on sale. They're a little bit cheaper now. They're still expensive, but I was like, I was trying to justify to myself like 350 is not as bad. I think I saw them at 350 like open box or something. But
three
but
fifty refurbished headphones is
and I was still like, I'm not doing it. So,
yeah.
but I ended up. But that was the last thing. I am not buying 3,500. Nah, they can stay there.
Yeah,
Looks cool though.
it looks dope. It looks like it does some amazing things. I don't really I won't say I don't understand. I don't have a use for it. It looks like it could be fun gadget to play around with, but I don't really have no use for it. I'm not finna sit around and just like I still like controllers and like just looking at the TV. I'm not there yet. Maybe in a couple of years I'll be there.
Yeah. I don't need an immersive experience, honestly.
Don't need it.
Like I don't need it around me. I don't mind like being at the game, but like immersive just feels a little bit extra.
Yeah, and that's the
But
thing
the
too. I'm still I want to like I like enjoying things outside of my house. Like I want reasons to leave my house.
I don't want to bring out in.
Yeah,
Like
so it's
if I want out, I just go out.
and they have VR. They have whole VR experiences and like what I'm saying, augmented reality, the joint. So it's like if I really want to do that, I can just make that a thing for the night. And you know what I'm saying? We can do that. But it's like having that in the crib. Just I don't need all of that. I don't need access to it like that all the time. Like it's a cool like weekend little date, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's cool something to
Or
do like that.
or if you're in the house alone, the VR Bang Bros guys are gonna
I'm
get
gonna
a
tell you right
nice
now,
kick out of that.
I don't. That's literally the only reason I even considered the Oculus because I was like, man, you know what I'm saying? They have the videos right there. And be like,
You are the video.
why not? Why not try it?
Yeah, yeah. I definitely
Speaking
it's a little
of,
little nasty for me, but yeah.
it wouldn't be nasty for Zion Williamson. It'd be right up his alley. Sir Zion, congratulations on the birth or on the birth announcement or the baby shower that you're having a
It's
baby.
always such a beautiful thing when they
Congratulations.
take the pictures and the woman's glowing and in black love.
Mm,
He
mm,
beat the
mm,
elite
mm.
milk
He
allegations.
beat him.
He
Because
beat
I
him.
zoomed in. I said, "Oh, we got a black NBA star
But
with
to
a
be fair,
black. Look at this."
but to be fair, I got family in Raleigh, Durham. I got people in the Triangle. It's not very colorful there, on Duke's campus. It's just not. But one of the blackest cities in America is New Orleans, Louisiana. So I don't think she's from New Orleans, but I'm pretty sure he met her in New Orleans.
No, I feel like once you become immersed in it, that's the immersion we be talking about. Once you become immersed in it, you understand a little bit more. So I
His
think
reach wasn't that far.
I think the brother understands now, and so much so that he's reached out for the services of one Mariah Mills.
I saw the name and I was like, I know this woman.
I said, Lord, hey, I'll go on her Twitter and do a read along. A lot of times when people you know announce that they're having a child, people like to send congratulations. People
That's
like to
typical.
like at most
Yeah,
well I say at least you get
at least.
you know I like it. I'm
Yeah,
not gonna say nothing, but I at least like Miss
I
Mariah.
did. I
Miss,
did.
I don't know the guy, so I won't say anything. But Miss Mariah Mills says she's actually been on a rampage today. Good
You're doing crazy.
Lord,
I I accidentally ran into different tweets.
woo wee! So it started 9 hours ago. She did say, "Congrats, Zion Wilson. I'm happy for you." Uh, Zion Williamson is actually hilarious because he doesn't change his dirty man's Snapchat name at all. He just leaves it as Zion Williamson.
Maybe he's hiding in plain sight because there's no way you're Snapchatting with Zion Williamson. There's no way,
He's an
right?
honorable guy. He is the most lovable fool I think like there has ever been. Like outside of maybe Charles Barkley when he's praying in Space Jam. It's like I really just think this guy is amazing.
Mm.
She says, "I hate you on God." Hashtag Zion Williamson. Looks like you been had a girlfriend and sleeping with other women behind my back. Zion Williamson, you liar. Better pray I'm not pregnant too because I'm definitely late, Zion Williamson.
Oh no.
I was with you last week in New Orleans, and you couldn't tell me you had a random thought pregnant after all
Because
I've done
why
for
would
you.
I do that?
Why
Why
would
would I do that?
why would I tell you a random thought that I have another random thought pregnant?
Where would that even come up in conversation?
We're conducting business here. Like that's not. So
It's not fair.
I'll tell you this. I tell you this. This is like you be at work sometimes or something happening at work, and you be like, "That's above my pay grade." You know what I'm saying? Like that's not that's not a relationship. That's not you don't get those you don't get cued in on those emails. I'm not gonna tell you about that.
No.
I'm gonna tell you where to lay down at.
Yeah.
That's about it. If you Zion, like so. Let me see. Let me go. I let you fuck me so many times without condom, and this was what you do to me with a hood rat that does CPN. Sick face emoji. Sick face emoji. You putting my
Okay.
life in danger, fucking all these hoes raw. This is Mariah Mills. This is porn star
Fair.
Mariah Mills. She's making a lot of sense. He's putting her life in danger because when
Yeah.
she fucks people raw, I'm assuming that they're a test in the industry that
If there is any more safe person, it's probably the person that literally gets tests thousands of times.
You know what I'm saying? Think of it like how we had to do with COVID testing, and people had to get tested weekly before they could go into the office. The
Yeah.
same, except for like Dick and Boss. Um, I warned you about trapping type hoes, Zion Williamson, and you didn't listen to me. I know the game. Fuck you and congrats again. Hmm?
Okay.
I think that's a good place. I think there was one that I really wanted to read.
The spit in the mouth.
Bingo.
Spit in the mouth.
But I'm terrified to search Mariah Mills spitting mouth. Like I'm just like I don't want to. I don't want.
Yeah, I think I might have screenshot it. Well, not her in an act, but like the tweet itself. Oh, here it is. I'll read it. I let you spit in my mouth last week when we fucked. You could have told me we had another whore pregnant. How was that going to work? Moving us both to New Orleans. You think I would have found out, and then of course added them at the end. I ain't gonna hold you. Like sometimes, and this is kind of the reason why the podcast started. Sometimes I do have my blind spots, and my brain takes over before like my visceral thoughts. And so my first thought was like, bruh, you know what you be doing. And like, you just gotta kind of charge that to the game. Like, but then I'm like, okay, that's not fair. She has feelings too, I'm sure. Just because she does this doesn't mean
no,
she's totally void of feelings.
and
So I was like, that's not fair. But part of me
man,
is just like, you kind of gotta charge it to the game.
this is a show. This is a show. There's no way. There's no way she's actually upset. But if she is, Zion, you ain't no good. You selling that porn star dreams.
Yeah.
She made his dreams come true, and all she has is empty. But thoughts and prayers for everybody involved. Congratulations, Zion. Hopefully,
Shorty, shout
and
out to
and
you.
and that's what, like, people were already going in on Zion because apparently Shorty is like, I guess, the
She,
Instagram
IG.
Shorty, and then she was
Yeah.
the one that got in the fight and had her titties out and everything.
Mm.
Hey man, I would say you love who you love. I think that that may apply. I don't know their relationship. That might be his queen. I don't know, but
And and
congrats.
also and also too, like I know a lot of times people, and this is just my weird way of thinking. I'm always going to look left on these things, but like a lot of times, and excuse me for derogatory, but like for lack of a better term, they say things like you can't change a hoe to a housewife.
Right,
But like to be fair, like maybe I'm weird to thinking this, but like so wouldn't that kind of make the best housewife? Like she kind of already knows what's there.
and the thing
So like
is, bro, I really don't need nobody to like take care of the house for it. I pay people to do that.
for real.
I got
So
enough
you
bread
you
to,
make me you make me happy. We good.
yeah, like okay, so I'm looking for a household. I'm not looking for a housewife. I have
Or you
people to
come on you
handle.
come on the road, come on the road. Like I'm out.
Hey man, I get it. I get it. You know, who knows? He said he was at the baby shower, so I'm assuming that they're at least amicable,
Yeah.
and everything is kosher with it. So I don't see the problem with who Shorty is and what she decides to do, and I don't see no problem with him with Mariah Mills. He is doing exactly what I would do at his age. He's doing
Oh yeah.
exactly what I would do.
'Cause they all got booking prices.
I'll tell you right now, I
And
would,
like
at 22, 21 million
with a
dollars.
max deal? With a max deal?
I would have married Roxy Reynolds. Married. What?
Listen, listen. When I found out, because it was a few years ago, I feel like we maybe talked about this on here before. When I found out the booking prices, because I remember on Twitter the booking prices was going around, and it was me, not Millionaire Robert. And I was looking at some of those booking prices, and I was like,
I got it.
wait, what? For that? Oh yeah,
What is it? Section?
that's
Ah,
right.
all
Like
right.
for this experience, a buddy of mine, I got one of those. Everybody's got one of those ignorant friends, and they never make any sense. But one time, I remember we were talking about, and Rick Ross was like, "I fly girls to where I'm at. This is just kind of standard practice for me." Like, and he was talking about like a little bit more in depth, and I was like, "Man, if I had money, I wouldn't be flying these chicks out." I would just be meeting them wherever they at, whatever, whatever. And he's like, bruh, flying a girl out for him is probably like a number one at McDonald's. And I had to think about it, and I was like, I would definitely buy a girl number one, like in a heartbeat. We wouldn't even have to do
Wouldn't
anything.
even think about it. Wouldn't even think
And
about it.
so, and so I'm like, if flying her out was like the 100, and you know she's probably safe, she ain't gonna set you up. You probably actually like her a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can actually do other stuff than just that, and you don't feel like you got to get away from her. But she's only here for a certain amount of time. I was like, oh, that makes all the sense in the world. I was like, oh, you're a fucking genius. Yeah,
Everybody knows it ain't tricking if you got it.
absolutely is not.
It's not tricking if you got
Absolutely
it,
not.
man. If you ain't finna miss it, then oh well, bro. Like it's only tricking when you can't afford it. You doing all this extra stuff, blah 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 blah. You spending your last, you taking from your baby, you know what I'm saying. You doing all this extra stuff. That's when it becomes tricking. Kanye
Yeah,
buying all those random Kim
BBLs.
Kardashian clones, BBLs and Birkins. That's not tricking. It's
Yeah.
showing his appreciation. Nothing wrong with
All
that.
that and all that Balenci too. He's hooked up with them. I'm pretty sure he's not paying
You know what
for
I'm
it.
saying? You know what I'm
Give a
saying, bro?
give a girl the Crocs, man. I ain't got a band for it, but if I was friends with them, I would.
Bingo.
So yeah, that's
So
interesting.
in other NBA Wild Boy news, John Morant's gun was apparently a toy. At least that's the story that they are pushing and going forward with now.
There's a
Uh,
common thing here. You gotta stop trying to win social media. Just like you said this a couple times already with the two lawsuits. One was Tory Lanez, and I forget what the other one was. But you guys have to stop trying to win the lawsuit or the Twitter streets, because if it was me as the commissioner and I heard that it was a toy gun, I would almost feel like I have to suspend you for more time, because now you're just playing in my face. Like you know that
yeah,
you're not supposed to have it, and it's like, look, I'm not waving it.
it makes it
I'm waving a
worse.
toy.
It
It
makes
makes
it
it worse.
worse.
Like it's almost was intentional. And so I'm like, oh, okay, you playing in my face. I gotta set precedent with you. Have
Yeah,
to.
yeah. I just don't. I don't. Well, you said it perfectly. Guys, Twitter is not at all like when people say the internet ain't real. This is one of those times where I would agree with them. People, there's no need in you trying to convince niggas on Twitter. Like Twitter is not Adam Silver jaw. Like if you hear this, that's not who you need to be convincing. Like, and it didn't work either way. We're not stupid. Like I don't.
That's a little boy excuse.
What are you
Like
talking? You talking about
it's
a
like
toy?
when they walk up to you and you'd be like, "Who ate the donuts?" And Jit got white around his mouth, pouting.
Literally.
Like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know who ate them shit. You sure? You sure you ain't see nobody with them donuts, man? I don't.
I
Shit.
don't know who ain't doing that. Like, bruh, come on now. Like it's literally it's laughable. It's almost like okay, it's like it's like Malibu's Most Wanted when he's like
Yeah.
when he shoots himself in the foot. And it's like he's finna go. What length is he willing to go through to prove that this is a toy gun? Like who finna take the bullet when this man try to show that this is a toy gun and it actually fire off? Like I feel like he's gonna tell himself this lie enough, and he gonna start believing it, and his homies gonna start believing it, and then they gonna try to prove it. I just shot my foot. It's like, bro, man, everybody need to chill, bro. Everybody just need to take a step back, sit down, and just rest in knowing that you made it, bro. You made it. You already there. There's no need to try to, or rest in the fact that you're already in trouble. So there's no need in making it worse by lying.
Yeah. Yeah. Just eat it.
Hello, I feel like this was no pun intended. I feel like that's what Zion did. He just ate it. You know what? This
From
girl,
what from what I saw in the Snapchat, he definitely ate it. And what did the women say? He didn't leave any crumbs. Apparently, he left it in. So he ate it all kind of ways, like old girl said, spit in the mouth, all the fly shit. So
I was, he ate it.
Definitely hate it.
You guys can learn a lesson from these guys.
And guess what? You ain't gonna hear nothing from him about this shit. So you gotta learn from him there too. You think Zion's gonna even tweet anything on this Instagram?
He ain't
Anything?
saying a fucking word. But it is like it's the wildest shit to me that while this nigga is supposed to be like rehabbing, getting in shape and shit, right?
That's
That's
rehab.
his cardio. That's his cardio of choice.
Think about it. When you played Grand Theft Auto in the back in the day,
Hey,
and you went to get Shorty in the car, what happened to your life?
I ain't mad at it. I
The
ain't
life
mad.
went. If your life was low,
Rejuvenated.
it would go all the way to the top.
Even
So
if, even if you was a little juvenated, you would be all the way juvenated by the time you
that
got done.
it might be why he ain't got no legs though.
But that's why that's just like it's you can't perform afterward. Like I feel like he don't want how people be like, I don't have sex before a game. I don't do this before Zion be trying to do all this shit and then go
He's
out and
also he's
like,
also 23, 24, so he probably trying to like go back to back to back to back to back. Like the one time it might be dope, but if you just trying to go like I only got you in town for 72 hours, we about to bat to bat to bat to bat to bat. Yeah, you probably are not gonna get up for your 6 o'clock workout. You were
yeah,
up at
you
5.
were up already.
Yeah, you were up at
You
5.
were up
And
plenty.
yeah, and now you gonna go to Bourbon and get one of them nice rooftop brunches.
This man is wild.
You,
Like
you feel me? Like,
it
come on.
all makes sense. These NBA stars of today are so unserious. It's just like
Yeah,
Spencer Dinwiddie is talking about with Kuzma and shit. Like these niggas really
yeah,
just be out here going to work
yeah,
and
yeah.
collecting their check and living
And
their
do and
fucking
and
life.
and are passionate and a bunch of other shit.
They do not give a shit at all. They just it's literally what we was expecting from 6'8" niggas. Like it's like when you see a 6'6" nigga, you assume you at least supposed to just be in the league. Just be around the league. Just go get a check. What you doing here?
Yeah,
Why you bagging groceries at 6'6"? What you doing?
or Foot Locker.
You know what I'm saying? Go put in the work from ages, you know what I'm saying? Go put in that work from ages 15, 14 to 4 years of work. All we asking is for you to have a nice high school run, get picked up by a nice college or whatever, get a nice offer from a college, play a couple years, get into now they got the G League Ignite. They have things for you to do, and you know what I'm saying? You can pick up a little minimum contract. You see what the Heat doing with they undrafted. Go get you a check, bro. You don't have to get you a check. Ride the pine and get your pine roll.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Vet minimum is still a couple M's.
yeah, that's
Scotties,
nice.
they'll take
Yeah,
that. They'll take that.
it's enough to drive a Hellcat. Like they know what a Hellcat is. They see that they're like, oh, he spent at least 80 on that car,
Ron's gonna get
and
yourself in
it's
trouble.
fast.
Don't get yourself in trouble, man.
Yeah. Oh, me? Oh, I don't see. Here's the great. I don't drive a Hellcat. I can't afford it. I looked at this. I looked at. Honestly, I was looking at Scat Packs at first, and I was like, maybe. And then I looked at the insurance, and I was like, nah, 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 hell no. Fuck that. My insurance is already pretty high, but once I seen the difference between that 5.7 and that 6.4, I was like, yeah.
What's the difference between a 5.7 and 6 point?
and insurance for the year at least a couple bands. I was like, yeah, nah, it's not worth it. I already am paying enough for the car note itself. I don't need to look. This is actually another thing that you guys want to hear some funny shit. This what you got to YouTube, right? YouTube, what what I paid for my 2023 Hellcat. Just go look at what motherfuckers paid. Go look at what they're paying per month. Go look at their insurance because they're gonna tell you they're gonna break it down, the window sticker, the APR, and they gonna be motherfuckers be like, yeah, I'm paying $1,000 a month, 500 insurance, 15% APR. I'd be like, oh,
Jesus
they
Christ.
they fucked you. That loan for 60 is gonna end up being 80 when you finish it.
My
So yeah,
God.
that's if you want to laugh at young kid, how I
Hell,
was able to afford my Hellcat at 22 years old. Yeah,
Hellcat and
that's
a
the video.
half. Hellcat and a half by the time it's over.
Mm-mm. Nah, you gotta get rid of that car. So yeah, that's another funny thing to right there. All right, do you want to go more serious or you want to go more jokey? because we already are in kind
Um,
of playful mood already.
shit.
Uh,
CP3 got fired. Let's have some fun with that.
okay, he got fired. That did happen.
A
He's
day
making
a,
way too,
a
he's
day
making
after
way
he
too
dropped
much
that
money.
clip. A day after he dropped that clip of him talking about his daughter, he getting
Uh,
roasted about him not winning no ring.
the crazy thing is, I seen the caption for it, and I didn't want to even click the clip. I didn't even want to watch it. I was like, that
Man,
sounds sad
my
as fuck.
and like the thing is, he looks sad while he talking about it. Like, you know, CP3, he got those like puppy dog eyes and shit. So it's just like he always looks sad anyway. So him explaining what's going on with his kid and getting bullied about him and his underperforming, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, come on, man. It's too and then to get waived the day after is like, oh my God. Frank Vogel
Yeah,
is a motherfucker boy. But
only because he makes too much money. Like, because they're talking about we could resign him, like they're resigning him again. I'm like, also resigning him for less.
that's the thing.
So
It's like, do they not have to? They still got to pay that out. But I guess it's
no,
just
no, because there's here's the crazy thing. So you remember there was a time when all the contracts were guaranteed.
right.
Now it's like 90% of them are guaranteed.
Okay,
Like
so
a lot of them aren't fully guaranteed. A lot of them are like a lot of it, but not fully.
so if he's bringing in 20 M's, then they pay him
Oh,
12.
he was gonna make I think 40 something.
So they must bought him out for the 30, and then he'll get a vet minimum.
Nah, well, if he wants to join LA, sure. What I honestly said, I just tweeted it. I was like, look, Lowry's getting a lot of money. Whatever we paying Lowry, we could go ahead and get a CP. And then
You'll get the
Dame
same
already,
production.
I feel like we get more assists out of it. Lowry didn't play that much this year. He was hurt. But
That's
I
true.
guess CP would be hurt too. I don't know. I like,
That's what I'm saying. But CP3 would
yeah.
be a better asset as far as facilitating though.
Maybe he'll take less, and then we could trade Duncan and Hero for Dame because Dame want to come to Miami. So
Duncan Hero with a draft pick, he's yours.
yeah, Dame already said he wanted to come, so the money might come down a little bit just because he ain't got no leverage. They don't got to get rid of him, but there's
What's
that.
incredible is how fast that situation went like left after the season was up. Like he was just like,
Who, Portland?
yeah, like he like it was. It's like, oh, okay, all
I
right.
never leave to these my dogs.
Like man,
Like,
shit. I
oh
mean, I'll go to the Heat right now. It's like,
yeah,
duh, bitch. Like, but you know, come on. It'd
yeah.
be,
I might be there for game for opening night if Dame Lillard's in a Heat uniform. I'll
oh,
find a way to get Miami.
it'd work. It
Oh
definitely
yeah,
worked because it's already working. So adding that piece and just having him, get folded
a
into what y'all
bona
already do.
fide 30-point score.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
And he works hard. That's Pat Riley's guy. I'll be surprised if Pat ain't on the phone right now.
The call has been made. The call has been made. The deal is on the table, and the thing is, the Portland is if they, you know, are gonna do what they say what they say they were gonna do, they're gonna do right by them. So you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. If
Get him to Miami.
if it's the end of the road, they got Anthony. You know what I'm saying, and they got Shaden. So they got
He's a dog too.
they got pieces to rebuild if that's the direction that they want to go in. It's just like it's like one of those things where it's like I could play the game and help myself rebuild, or I could just fuck you guys.
Yeah.
It's just like we'll see what they doing, but nah. I mean, I don't see a reason why he can't be in the Heat jersey next year. CP3 on the other hand, I'm gonna keep down talking to him so they can get him on the Lakers. He can maybe coach up. He can help
Yeah.
coach. He can help coach D'Lo.
Just seen a tweet that said two 38-year-old starters playing for us in the starting lineup, and it was that meme of Homelander and like in the theater where he's
Hey man,
so,
this shit work on 2K, nigga. This shit work on 2K.
that's all,
Fuck all you talking about.
that's all that that's all that matters. Put LeBron in the post and let CP3 run the one.
Bingo.
10 years too late for him to come to LA.
Shit,
Damn
man.
David Stern.
But that's the weird disposition that I've been in since LeBron's gone over there. Because I'm just like, I don't like the fucking I hate the Lakers, but I'm
Yeah.
like, man, if this what it takes for LeBron to get to 5 or 6, bitch, I like, fuck it, man. I guess we got to be all in. We got to help the Lakers get 19 and 20. Goddamn, like, oh well. Hell, or he can go back to the Heat. So
You know,
some sporty things. I think we covered most of the sports. Stephen A. Um, has finally kind of revealed his political ties. Basically, he's already like
see,
a. Go ahead.
I don't even think it's finally. Didn't he just have like Clay Travis on his shit like
Yeah,
recently or
like
something?
like like he's definitely he's been like soft. Like
Yeah.
you know how the bitches.
Us-
Uh,
oh, soft opening. This is the time. Or
yeah,
soft reveal. What do they call
soft
it? Soft
reveal,
reveal.
the soft reveal
Yeah.
when they finally show the man holding their hand in the whip type shit. You know what I'm
This
saying?
picture, you just see him like this next to you, and
Yeah,
you're like, I don't know who he is, but I just know he has good
it
taste in hats.
bingo. So he finally went ahead and said, you know what I'm saying, straight up, he'd vote for Chris Christie over any of the Dems running. I don't really know how many Dems are running. I know Biden, maybe Marianne Williamson, but I don't really
Robert
recall.
Kennedy Jr., I believe.
Robert Kennedy Jr. is another one, right?
Yeah.
I'm not honestly, I'm not up on too much of the political spectrum
Not
as far
yet.
as far as
It feels
Democrats
a
and
little bit
Republicans.
early. Yeah.
I'm usually in on it, but I just kind of like this shit depressing, low key. So I just kind of just been leaving it alone. Uh,
I do just enough so I'm not like completely lost,
yeah,
but not enough where I'm like biting on my fingernails. Like that.
yeah, cause I'm quick to go to jump to biting on my fingernails and like all is lost and shit. So I'm
Yeah.
trying to like stave that off for as much as possible. Then me and like niggas are getting arguments on Twitter and shit and whatever else. But yeah, no, he finally went ahead and revealed it, and he revealed it on I think Sean Hannity's show, so a conservative
Who he has said in the past is his buddy.
is his boy. So
Yeah.
he's been already talking that way anyway. But it is, I guess, it's not even, I won't say nice, but it's good that he finally went ahead and said something. But how you feel about that? How you feel about just the idea of Stephen A. prominent black voice in, I guess, black media, not even just sports media, but just in general, just prominent black voice, uh, openly giving some support to Chris Christie. Granted, I want to go through and see like some Chris Christie policies. I'm certain that
Yeah.
they're no good for niggas.
Yeah, I think Chris Christie was on the ABC telecast of the election as like the resident conservative voice for
Right.
the desk, because it's a lot of those networks are pretty liberal, and they have to have one guy. I think that was Rick Santorum for CNN
Right, right,
time, and they were just there was a lot of clips where they were just dunking on Rick, which was funny, but
right.
he's a very dunkable face. But as far as like Stephen A, I think I read somewhere before that he said he was a capitalist. So like I'm not too surprised. I think the only thing I'm more or less shocked at, but this is not just like a black guy thing, but this is just more typical. Like the thought of being a one topic voter or one issue voter
Mm,
oftentimes does throw me off a little bit. Like I can totally ignore everything about this person, but like as long as he keeps lining my pockets or at least taking less out of my deal or the money I can earn,
right.
like that's fine. I could really give a fuck about what that means for everyone I've ever known in my life intimately. Uh, who doesn't have money? It doesn't matter what that means about all the women that I've had in my life, considering the fact that these guys a lot of times are either have had trials on sexual assault or totally okay with policing women's bodies or different things of that nature. And it's like, but I gotta get this cash. So that to me feels a little bit yucky. But I mean, I guess I understand it, man. That money make, as young Nudie once said, what did he say? Is
Mm-mm.
what
Look what money make a
a
bitch
money make
do.
a what a money make a bitch do. Like, so it's like, I mean, it's the root of all evil and the key to happiness and everything in between. You know.
Yeah, man.
Uh, so I don't know. I don't know.
Um, I won't even say I'm torn. I'm just tired of like once again, we know too much about each other, but then like I think I'm tired of like having to straddle the fence with niggas and shit. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
I'm tired of being like, okay, like I'm like separating artists from art. It's the same. It's the same thing. Like I don't want to have to support or like. I think everybody should just keep this shit private. Like if this is what y'all gonna do anyway, because it's like First Take isn't my like show of choice. I don't really like First Take like that. Um, I think it gets kind of like I think everybody's on there being caricatures of themselves.
yeah.
Especially Stephen A. and Mad Dog. Like I like it's annoying. Um,
Even to
but
the point where like guys that I like turn it up. Like
yeah,
JJ on his podcast is so good, and he's good on ESPN too. But even he throws some sauce on it.
yeah. I don't. I really don't need the extras. Like if that's you, do that. But
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Once JJ started doing that turn where it was like, okay, you're clearly trying to score here. Like you're not just winning how you win. It's like one of those things you start feeling yourself. You're like, oh, this is what y'all want, and it's like, no, bro. Like just talk your shit. It'll be fine as normal. But yeah, I'm just tired of having to like weigh out if I should support you because what you do with your platform or what you do with the money that you get from niggas supporting you. You know what I'm saying? You want to keep receiving that income, and that's why you're gonna make the political decisions you make, or you would like to see that income increase. You know what I'm saying? Tax wise, so you'll make a political decision that's going to cause harm or be at the detriment of other black people. And I'm just tired of having to make those decisions. So it's just like by all means, Stephen A. You're allowed to do whatever you want to do. Vote for whoever you want to vote for. But once you start revealing those things, I think it is kind of telling that when people start doing that whole, like you said, single issue voters and just the thought of like, because I'm tired of this adage too of like, oh, black people are always conservative, but it's like no, we're kind of
progressive.
yeah, we're kind of always at the forefront pushing things forward. Now,
Yeah, yeah,
if
yeah,
if that is strictly on some survival shit, fine. But it is what it is. We're still the ones pushing shit forward. So I don't think it's right to be like, oh well, black people are always, more conservative than nah, not
oh
even
yeah, yeah,
not even necessarily black men are more conservative. It's just like really frustrating to have to always go back and be like, man, here we go again. Somebody that's finna like, support something that's potentially harmful for niggas so they can line their pockets.
yeah.
And
It
it's
also times confuses me too because like they really don't fuck with him. Like if because of him, like his character. Like I'm pretty sure they make fun of him on like Barstool or Outkick, all these other things, or Bright Bar, shit like that. And it's like, but this is the people that you like openly giving an endorsement to.
it's weird,
Like,
bro.
like what? Like I don't know. Like they will make fun of you in a heartbeat, and that's your people.
That's just people. Um, she Skip
Yeah, you were
his
just
old
we were
cause.
just talking about the show, and that's what made me think of when I said I posted I wrote in there and I said he's ruined two shows
Yeah, I
because
mean, these seem like they should be cash cows. That I mean, First Take is still running,
yeah.
so you know, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think about Skip and his losing another host, or can we say that he lost Steven, or did he go on to get a better or.
I think from what we found out later, I think Stephen A said that there was a little bit of turmoil.
Right.
Um, I don't like to sound too cynical, but I almost feel like this shit is inevitable. Like I'll be honest, I did used to think it was weird that you could do like a long running show like that, something similar to that, and then like not fuck with them at all because the chemistry on camera and TV is hard to like. I mean, I've seen it obviously like with like most recently like Joe Budden's podcast, where it was like, oh, I didn't know these guys were like already not fuck with each other. Like I knew it was like maybe tension, but you can't tell what's real or fake.
Right.
Shit, Mike and Mike. I think they had said later that they hadn't been fucking with each other like in like almost a decade or some wild shit.
It's
The
crazy.
show the show was on air for like 20 years or some nut shit. So like I remember just being like thinking like, oh wow, so like niggas really don't fuck with each other for real. And so like yeah, I think after that shit happened, I forget exactly what it was, but when Shannon had called off, and
Oh yeah.
I was like, oh, that's probably a wrap. And so I remember I was talking to my father-in-law about it, and I was like, yeah, this show it's on the clock now, because this shit gonna be done soon. And then his Club Shay Shay shit be taking off. Like I see just as many clips from there as I see from him on the show,
Oh, that's
maybe
actually
even
facts.
maybe even more now.
Yeah.
So now he'll have even more time. He's fully independent, I'm sure, or he could sign a deal, whatever, and probably make even more money because they probably underpaying this nigga in Fox. Because the only reason I even care about that show is because Shannon, like Skip is a draw, but like once Shannon became good behind the mic, like actually legitimately effective, it was like, oh, this is his show just as much as it is Skip's.
Yeah,
So yeah,
and like it's really weird to hear like people, even Shannon spoke on it, and it's just like that whole thing where like it's it's both our show, but you're the name that I guess brought me on at first, but now I am equal,
yeah,
and it don't reflect that. What I'm saying, behind the cameras is like that's where I'm like, for what? Like I don't understand. It's like you niggas really don't know how to keep shit running. Like it's a cash cow. Like I don't understand. You write your own checks, but I'm guessing uh Skip writes his own checks and Shannon takes whatever he can get,
shorts.
and it's just like, all right, cool. I'm doing my own shit now. You disrespecting me still, so it's like, nah, you know what I'm saying. But hopefully it work out for both parties involved.
Oh, you better than me because I hope that undisputed shit dies.
Nah, I mean,
Fuck that.
well, I mean, it depends on who they put on there. I like Skip. He entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And like that's the thing. Like I get authenticity from Skip.
I was about to say what I appreciate most from Skip is I think he actually believes the dumbass shit he be saying.
So
Like
it
I
be
think he
it it
actually
be
believes that.
it be wild. It be crazy. But it's like, okay, well, he actually like he believe it. Even the whole, I know he believe it because he's tell that 300, 250 pound, 6 foot something nigga across the set from him. Look
Hall
back,
of Famer.
what y'all put on your glass? Like he be like 100% for real with everything he's
Yeah.
saying. And I guess that's maybe he need to relax a little bit. Maybe he need to go calm down and reflect on his actions. In the same ways that John and Zion need to go. I go
A lot
sit.
of wild boys, a lot of money.
I go sit
That's the
down, man.
that's what the whole episode is about. Wild boys and money. Let's see. I'm sure we got some more wild boys. Oh, probably the wildest boy on this list actually. Desacrimonious? Is that what Trump calls him? Desacri
Woo, finally, we're here. We're here.
Desacrimonious. Yeah.
Got 12 minutes to get my shit off.
President. Nah, I'm ISO with the Kobe shit. ISO.
Hit there.
Yeah. I don't know. I live here. I live in Florida. Um, every day. I try so hard to just not every time I see his name pop up in a headline, I get CNN, I get Wall Street Journal, I get Rolling Stone, like I get so many different the Athletic. I see his name. He finds his way in my sports news. Like I'm like, okay. I see his name and I just totally okay, you got it, my boy. He banning books. Apparently the Bible is on that list because of the violence in it, apparently. So the right is having a full day with a field day with that. What was the last? He's made a war with Mickey Mouse.
That boy fucking
Not
up.
sure. Yeah, he's There was something most recently,
He
but I
did. I think
forget
he did like
exactly.
a rent law
That was the one.
where he
That was the
where it
one
was
where you
like,
can you can put all these weird fees on shit and it doesn't matter,
yeah.
huh? And then the first thing I thought was, I'm glad I bought when I did. Like, I'm so glad I bought when I did because this shit is rough. It's rough,
Man,
and it's
I ain't gonna be able to come back, boss.
not with that. Not with that. Let's just hope he leaves as a governor. I mean, I guess it's still signed into law, so I don't know.
But
Fuck.
remember, okay, so that's another thing that he did. So he's able to do all these things, you know,
Prior to leaving,
but like I think one of the laws that he put into place was basically to support like he's able to carry out his like full term up until he gets inaugurated, basically. So it's no interim. It's no like anybody else taking over while he out. Like it's gonna be him.
so he could just keep signing bullshit while he's getting ready, getting briefed.
Yeah. So
Huh?
yeah, the
Huh?
NAACP put out a bolo. Be on the lookout. You come to
So it
Tampa.
was like, yeah, they was like, don't come to Florida at this moment. And I was like, dang, that's rough. But I'm like, I live here, so and I feel you. Like, it's not the time.
But it's just one of those things, man, where it's just like, what do you really do? I think this is the only time where you can go back and reflect and like I remember after Andrew Gillum lost, everybody was like, I was trolling the black women a little bit because their numbers were a little bit down. I think they only voted for him at like a 92-93% clip as opposed to
What
the normal
were they,
95-96.
were they going to Nikki Fried or
I don't even know. I don't like
uh,
uh but
maybe Nikki Fried? I don't know.
yeah, they it's one of those times where it's like, okay, now we gotta look at and we gotta actually see, you know, is this an issue of voting? Is this an issue of, getting people out? Because this is what happens when you do not win elections. Let's say it wasn't a voting issue and it was just, that registered voters did come out or people of age to be registered did go out and vote and it just didn't go the way that we wanted it to go because maybe the Democrats didn't do a good job of advertising or whatever it could be. But this is one of those times where you really got to sit back and reflect and think about it. I think countrywide, like it's just got to be one of those times where you take a step back and reassess the ways that you're going about trying to get people elected because the country is going like left quick
Yeah,
because they making moves and they're not playing like and I just
they're not
don't.
playing fair.
Yeah, and it's just like it's really like I don't know. I feel like it's kind of like a moot point at this point to continue to beat a dead horse and tell people to vote and tell people X, Y, Z. I remember I got into an argument. Maybe it wasn't even an argument. We just got into a little friendly family debate last Thanksgiving because that's when the runoff was going on. Stacey Abrams and Greg Abbott. And family member lives in Texas, and they were like, "Oh well, why should y'all election affect us? Why should we care about y'all state elections? It's a state election. Y'all handle that. Don't tell us that we need to support and make calls and share posts about voting in Georgia and all that when it's not going to affect us." Well, we've seen that laws across these, I'll say those three states specifically, Georgia,
In Texas.
Florida, and Texas.
Yeah,
Once one of them goes somewhere, once one of them just make a law, the
the
next
other
one
one try
is
to trump that bitch.
every time. So I think, and now the person that won in Florida is put in his bid to run for president, and we know that nigga crazy. He put in a law that incentivized and gave bonuses to cops if they relocate to Florida. Now, granted, in comparison, the percentage is small, but I don't think anybody would feel comfortable knowing that 2 dozen cops have histories of violence. Uh, on their records that came and took those $5,000 bonuses. Like, so now you've incentivized. That was an issue just in general before the bonuses were in play. That cops would get fired for something in one district, go to the
And
next district.
schools.
Now you've incentivized it. Now
Yeah.
you've created a safe haven for these people, and you've given them a stimulus. on top of it, and you funded it with tax, like it's taxpayer funded. So like,
And real quick, even take it a little bit deeper from there. Then they get jobs in these highly populated areas full of black people, like Tampa, right?
uh huh,
But then they don't live in Tampa. They end up living in like Newport Richie or some shit.
uh
So
huh,
then they'll take the resources from Tampa and they will spend their dollars, their property tax, and shit in Newport Richie, which builds up those neighborhoods that are non black and have their schools really nice while
yep.
taking from neighborhoods I live in and brings their schools down, which inevitably brings probably crime up and because they're bored, they ain't got shit to do, and then now it just circles back. So but continue from there.
I mean, that's you put it perfect. It's just one of those things where it's like, once again, people, and I don't know. I feel like I get a little bit too passionate about things, so I'm trying to be as measured as possible when I'm talking about this. But this is just a moment. Everybody needs to sit back and think: did I actually vote? Instead of complaining about motherfuckers tell you to vote, ask yourself: did you actually vote? And then ask yourself: did you tell your homies to vote? Did you take your homie to vote? Ask yourself that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because what we're seeing is the conversion rate is just not high on the votes. So out of maybe 200,000 eligible voters, we might get 75. You know what I'm saying? 75,000. So out of a few million, we'll get a couple 100,000. So it's just like you got to be real about these things and actually take it into consideration and be serious and intentional with it, because they're not playing no games. Like they are. If I've ever seen uh like what John Gruden used to say when Bucks won the chip, pound that rock. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Pressure bust pipes. Uh you know what I'm saying? Consistency is really what it's about. All of these things is what we are seeing come to fruition when it comes to this Republican Party pushing through laws that ultimately affect all of us. You know what I'm saying? On a national level and honestly internationally, if we being real with it, um, it affects everybody. So you really got to be intentional with how you gonna, you know what I'm saying, vote this time around. Even if it is everybody's turned off because it looks like it's gonna be Biden again, bro. Vote for Biden again. If it's Biden, just vote for Biden, because at the end of the day, a vote for Trump. Trump gonna be on a vendetta. This is second term. All know 2-term presidents wild out. Wilding out for Obama was allowing gay people to get married. That was wilding out for Obama.
yeah,
Wow.
and then he knew he couldn't get out, so he was just like kind of saying he was a little bit looser.
So and
Yeah,
that's literally how it happens every time you get that second term. We can't afford a Trump second term. We definitely can't afford 4 years DeSantis, because I honestly think the Republicans would rather DeSantis over Trump, because DeSantis is actually a good politician. Like there's no way around it. Like this guy is actually skilled at what he's doing. Might be a trash ass person,
but yeah, but also Trump has not liked them, and they don't want to be enemies of Trump,
and
so
that,
it's
and
hard.
that's their conflict. So that's the only, you know, I guess good thing that they might eat each other. You know what I'm saying? They
Lucky they didn't run together, because if they would have ran together,
oh my god, bro, it would have been, it would just, hey, pack it up, take your assets, get out of the country. Like
yeah,
it's just one of those things, because we've already seen they pushed through how many Supreme Court justices at the last minute, um, and then changed the law,
it's
and then changed the law that they said they wasn't going to change.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? That's been the letter of the law of the land for what, 3-4 decades at this point. So
yeah.
you can't trust the Supreme Court. They put through federal judges that were like 40 years old. So federal judges are a lifetime appointment. They're gonna be there for another 40 years, 30 at least. So my kids and piece of my kid life. So it's like, y'all.
And like Amy Cohen Barrett, she's younger.
Mhm.
What's his name? Wild Boy, Nasty Man.
Nasty man,
Uh,
Brett Kavanaugh.
yeah, he's like in his 50s, I
He's in
think.
his 50s, man. So these people are gonna
So
be here. Ruth Bader Ginsburg died in her 90s, so these people have at least 50 to 40 years you know what I'm saying, to just run it up. And it right now they reintroduced some gerrymandering. So they took it out. They took you can't give water to people, in voting
Standing
lines.
line.
You can't college campuses. There's nowhere to vote on college campuses, and like it's like they are doing things to make sure you don't have a voice. So
Disenfranchised.
it's going to be harder to vote. You still need to vote. People are going to tell you to vote. All y'all niggas didn't vote. Well, I was keep being. I understand a lot of niggas that did vote and we lost. That's part of the game. But a lot of you know what I'm saying? We won and niggas didn't do what they were supposed to do. So that's why them niggas lost the last time. It's part of the game. Y'all still gotta go out and vote. Because at the end of the day, if you get discouraged by the inaction of the people that you voted for, and then you don't vote, the people who definitely mean you harm don't mean you will. They're not even going to at least just keep it normal and just keep the status quo. They're just going to go left and make sure that, you know what I'm saying, it is illegal for you to get that abortion when you done slipped up, blah, 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 blah. Now you got to fly the girl somewhere else to handle your business. Now you got to do all this. Hey, look, you know what I'm saying? It's not what you want. You don't make enough money for it to be, you know what I'm saying, to evade your taxes no way. You already not really getting hit like that with taxes in the first place. We all getting hit, but you're not getting hit in the same way that the niggas is voting single issue voters that are trying to make sure that their taxes don't get cut or trying to make sure that their taxes do get cut. You ain't making that bread, okay? I understand you want to make that bread, but vote for where you at right now. Vote for where your mom's at. Vote for where your auntie at. You're gonna be straight, but are they gonna be taken care of? No. So just do the right thing and make
Yeah.
sure that, you know what I'm saying, the future is gonna be set up. I think
Matt,
nah.
I say real quick. I don't want to go without saying this.
Yeah.
Obviously, we got one last thing, and um, that is AJ Owens. I think everybody's kind of heard about it a little bit. If not, I mean,
Ooh.
yeah, and it's okay to go over it. But I want to. This is another one of those things where I just kind of like clocked out for a half a second. But it's like in our backyard, so
Right.
like it was in Ocala, so I just
Mm.
always hate like it was in Ocala. There's that stand your ground, and the way the gun situation is now because of DeSantis. Apparently, and it's actually when I read about it, it kind of meant a little bit more to me because I had a situation like this once. Um, uh, AJ Owens, she shot through the door, trying to go get her stuff back for one of her kids. Her iPad. Some kids, some older person was yelling at her kids, took that iPad. She went back to the crib. She went to go get the iPad, shot through the door, eventually succumbed to her injuries. So RP to her. It's unfortunate that happened, but like I had a situation like that long time ago. Show my age. It was a Game Boy. It wasn't even a color. It was a Game Boy, and I accidentally grabbed kid Game Boy, and we used to go to this. We had this apartment complex in Pinellas Park, and it had like a Y in the middle, and we all the kids. It was for single mothers, and so we all would kind of congregate at the Y. And he left. I had his Game Boy with me, so but everybody lived there, so I knew where he lived. I went to go bring it back to him. I was probably like 6. I went to go bring it back to him. His mama knocked on the door. His mom yelled at me, got upset, snatched the game, whatever. I was distraught. I went home. I was crying about it. And my mother,
Mm.
obviously, saw that she was hurt. She went over and went to go talk to the lady about what happened
Right.
and try to get some straightening. And my mom at the time, if I was 5, I would have probably made her like 27. And I'm about to turn 30, and I know what I was thinking when I was 27, like how protective I am. And it wasn't about a kid, like my kid. It was about like my little brothers or something, which I'm like still willing to like jump out the window for.
Right.
But like I can imagine it's a little bit different when it's your seed. You know what
For
I'm saying?
sure. For sure.
Like I'm really ready to crash out about. And so my mom at 27, I'm pretty sure she was willing to crash out, and my father too. So he lived somewhere else. If he would have found out, he would have been tripping. But or if he was there, but like that could have easily been some different shit. Like
Yeah,
that easily could have been some different shit, and this would have been a different me because of that shit. And I was there to witness everything that happened. It would have been hella traumatic. I don't know how it would have turned out. That was 26 years ago. So her now leaving four children, like I could only like to be gone, dog, because of like something like that, and like these kids ain't gonna have a mom, and it's four of them. It's hella traumatic. Like I can't even imagine. I think about death way too much, anyways.
right.
Already at this, like I couldn't imagine losing my fucking parents to some stupid shit. Like I just want them to grow old.
And that's really the thing. I feel like kind of gets lost in the bullshit of it all when we're like, crying out for justice and like illustrating. Here we go again. You know what I'm saying? When we're trying to, I guess, argue our plight to the world, it gets lost at the end of the day. This is a mom or this is somebody's parent. You know what I'm
She looked
saying?
young. She did not look old.
You know what I'm saying? I like you've taken somebody before it was time. You've taken them from people who need them. You like, of course, when anybody dies, it's a loss, of life for that person, but it's a loss, of so much more for the people around them. A lot of times, especially if it's we're talking about children, um, that's their provider. That's like I'm telling you right now, I got one. So yeah, what's honey?
Crash out.
What's her? I have to. What what would like? I can't even in my mind. I can't even fathom what would happen to Honey if I wasn't here, or if Karina wasn't here. If any of us had to do this shit alone, um, for any reason, what would happen to the child? And granted, she's gonna be taken care of. She's gonna be loved. We got family to step in and everything like that. So I'm confident in that would be taken care of. But at the end of the day, you never get over the loss of a parent, like at any age. I got hell. It's hard for me to get over the loss of my two granddads and my grandma. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I that's not my direct parent. Like, and I still feel weird about that. And I still wish I could call, what I'm saying, wish I had more time with my granddad, and my grandma. So it's just like I can only imagine how my parents feel. And I can only imagine how at that young of an age, your mom gone.
Yeah.
And then
That's why niggas really got to get that life insurance real quick. I remember when I forget who died. It was a mom already when he was running and
uh-huh.
they killed him. You know, I was at it was the beginning of the pandemic and gyms were closed. I was doing a lot of running outside. I remember my mom texted me, was like, "I know you running a lot, but be careful." And like, after she texted me that shit, like I went and raised my my life insurance. I know that sounds morbid, but it's like, man, you never fucking know.
Man,
Man, you never know. And it's like, it
it's
sucks
real
to think
shit
about it,
though. It's real
but I
shit.
had to make sure, like, if who's gonna pay for this house if I'm not here? Like, so I gotta make sure that, like, that's a big thing about getting married too. Like, I don't have to sign shit and be like, who's my beneficiary and shit. It's already built in with signing that small piece of paper.
Yeah.
If they, so yeah, but yeah,
No,
continue.
that's really what it is, man. So just what I'm saying. I guess really everybody, black people, unfortunately, once again, you just gotta have your affairs in order if you black in America. Really, if you black and existing and shit, you just gotta get your affairs in order because there's no backstop. Nobody's gonna take care. Like that's the thing. I think what I'm saying, that the point that you illustrated perfectly. There's no point in bemoaning this shit no more. We know what it is. We've known what it is for a long time. They know what it is. They're ignoring it. The only thing we can do is take action for ourselves. That's not me saying that don't call it out. That's not me saying don't put action behind what needs to be done. But I think at this point, we know the actions that we need to take. There's no point in trying to argue a plight. There's no point in trying to, blah 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 blah. Make sure that if it's another scenario where this person has committed this crime and they haven't even been brought in on the charges, or they haven't been charged with anything, they haven't been brought in for questioning, they just been chilling at the house for 2 weeks. By all means, we need to take action on those things. But I think the thing that every black person needs to do, like you so poignantly mentioned, is that you need to have your affairs in order. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's life insurance policies, beneficiaries, living wills, like all of that type of stuff, you need to just take care of that shit now. It's like you said, it's morbid, but at the end of the day, we gotta do what we gotta do to make sure our family's straight. Because like if something happened to any one of us, I'm pretty sure we all black, so we taking care of multiple people, whether it's a spouse, a kid, parent, auntie, cousin. You probably, are helping somebody else to become or just even be able to sustain their level of living as a black person. So well, and even if it's as simple as maybe not monetary concerns, but even if it's as simple as just going over, seeing about somebody, going over, cutting grass, all that type of stuff. Of course, having affairs in order is not going to affect those type of things, but people are going to miss you when you are gone.
Yeah.
So do what you can do today to mitigate that, just in case you run into a racist who don't give a shit in a state with loose ass gun laws and stay your ground laws. You know what I'm saying? Like at this point, you can have a gun, you can conceal it with no type of. It's your constitutional right to own a gun with no course necessary. With what I'm saying, you can conceal it with nothing. So while this may seem beneficial for people that didn't want to go through the courses and were slacking on those things, uh, it's detrimental for you in another way as a black
Yeah.
person. You know what I'm saying, in these states or just in America in general. So just man, y'all protect yourself, keep y'all affairs on, protect y'all family. That's basically a way to protect yourself after you're gone. Like you said, get a life
Yeah.
insurance policy. I got one through my
Uh,
job, but of
Yeah, I
course,
was gonna say a lot of times people have them with their jobs. If you can raise it, it usually takes a little bit more out of your check. I max mine out at like 6 times my salary. So, and then I think I got another one that my grandma took out for me a long time ago that I took over the payments at 18. So I put quite a bit of money in that. And I think I might do one more. I need to really get Alex to do one, but she's got one with her job, but I think I might just do one more. My dad, he was talking to me shit about this shit when I was 12.
yeah,
And we go over it not often, but like we went over it again after he turned 50. And he's like, yeah, I done raised everything. He probably got like $2 million in life insurance policies. And so he's told me how he wanted to go, where
yeah,
he wanted me to put his ashes and everything. And it sucks, but like I've seen the other side where
oh yeah,
that person didn't do it and
oh
how it
yeah.
split up certain like family members, and it's disgusting. And it happens so, and then the state gets a hold of the
Telling you,
the
man,
estate, and listen, you'll lose
they
all your
they
assets
bust it
on
how
some
the
dumb
fuck
shit.
they want to bust it down, bro. They
Yeah,
don't give a fuck. So man, just take care. Just take care of yourselves, man. For real. And if you are in a scenario where you need to go get some straightening, protect yourself at all costs. Like
they
please,
shoot through doors,
please,
man. They shoot through
please. If you
doors.
don't have to get the straightening, just drop that shit, bro. Like
Yeah,
for real. Like you said, they shoot through doors. They don't give a fuck. They tear their own shit up trying to get your ass. Like so, if you could put a pause on it, we know you a real nigga. We know you real. We know you don't let nobody fuck with you and yours.
yeah,
Walk off.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's not no victim blaming shit. I promise you, trying to
Make it home.
trying to protect your ass. Best thing for you to do at this point in present time. If you can't, just leave the shit alone or write a note. You know what I'm saying? Write a note, put it in the mailbox. Then you might get fucked up doing that shit. Hey, I don't know. I really don't know what to tell you. If you could drop that shit, drop that shit. If you gotta say something, I don't fucking know. Walk up there with your hands up, put it behind your back. Do something. Oh, you gotta do something to get home. You have to. Because these niggas, I ain't gonna say niggas. I don't want to say crackers, but them crackers are shooting through doors, man. Y'all fucking protect yourself.
That's a fact. Episode 13. Lot of good stuff.
Yes, sir.
Follow on the YouTube. And I just was thinking, I'm gonna start tweeting these links too. I need to get heavy on the tweeting. You'll see it on
You
Twitter, so
know,
you'll find me on
I
Twitter.
need to make a Twitter for
Yeah,
us.
make the Twitter. We're on our individual Twitters will have it. Will have us. Obviously,
Yes, sir.
go to my eBay if you want to buy some shit. Follow it on Instagram. Put up 5 stars on YouTube. Share the fucking clips. Blind Spots Week 13, Episode 13,
Episode
and
episode 13, man.
it